Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We are following some breaking news from Washington tonight. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Angelo Bavaro. We're learning more about what happened to Connecticut Congressman John Larson Monday afternoon inside the House chambers. Larson says he suffered what doctors are calling a complex partial seizure.
In a statement released this evening, Congressman Larson says he's doing better, and he explained what doctors told him happened. Video from the House chambers shows Congressman Larson giving his speech. You see it here, and then suddenly he pauses for quite a long time. You could see his whole demeanor change. When he started talking again, he was very slow in his speech. It was very scary to see. Congressman Larson says the pause in his speech has to do with a surgery he had many years ago. He says, quote, 15 years ago, I had a heart valve replacement due to a variation in the shape of my aortic valve that I was born with. Sometimes people with this condition can later develop symptoms, such as the momentary change in speech or movement that was apparent Monday.
Now, Larson says he has been prescribed medication that doctors say will reduce the chance of this happening again. He thanked all the doctors and staff along with his constituents and colleagues in Washington and says he will be back to a normal, active schedule tomorrow.
Glad he's getting some answers, because that was a really scary moment on the House floor there. We're also tracking a weather impact alert for Connecticut. This is a live look at the radar. Some parts of the state could wake up to a little bit of snow on the ground. Looks like at the shoreline happening right now, but it doesn't stop there.
Yeah, there is more behind it for Wednesday night into Thursday. A lot to keep track of here in the
Yes.
forecast. So needless to say, our weather team has a lot going on, has their hands full this week.
Yeah, so joining us right now, of course, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Rachel, at this point, how many storms are you keeping an eye on for the rest of the week?
We have 3 from now into this weekend. This is system number 1, just brushing us with a little bit of light snow, I should say. And I wanted to stress that the majority of this storm is going to end up missing us, and it's been bringing significant snow to the mid-Atlantic. But we are kind of living on the edge here on the northern fringe of things, and some of these flakes are now reaching the ground. New London, Ledyard now seeing a few snowflakes, Niantic as well. Maybe a few flurries around Killingworth. Sometimes it takes a minute before these flakes reach the ground, but between now and around 4 o'clock in the morning, we are seeing some light snow out there. It is gone before you wake up tomorrow. However, there could be a little bit of minor accumulation. Now notice, again, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's starting to retreat, and by 4 a.m., it's over. There is a chance for a coating of snow for some towns south of Hartford, just a chance. But as you head closer to the shoreline, there could be a coating, maybe up to 1 or 2 inches of fluffy snow. Again, we're not talking about much, but it could be enough to cause some slippery spots overnight and maybe into early tomorrow as well. Here's a look at your planner for Wednesday. Any early sun will fade behind increasing clouds. We're looking at high temperatures in the mid-30s. We are dry all day tomorrow, but then heading into tomorrow night, we'll see some snow develop, and that'll transition over to ice and then rain heading into Thursday morning. We'll talk about what that means for the Thursday morning commute coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, if you haven't already, make sure you download the free Fox 61 News app on your smartphone or your mobile device. You can get weather alerts and track the latest conditions wherever you are right from your phone.
Still developing tonight, out of Southington, state police are searching for the person they say showed a firearm to another driver on the highway. State police say this happened on I-84 in the Waterbury area. That person, who troopers say flashed a gun to another driver, kept on going. His vehicle was found up at the I-84 rest stop in Southington, but troopers are still looking for him tonight. People we spoke with in that area say they are shocked at that incident.
I was at work and I heard several of my coworkers discussing it, and having lived in Southington and having 2 grown children, of course, I became very concerned.
People are getting more impatient, could be more stress or whichever. How they could fix it, I really don't know. Gun is everywhere. It's not only at one spot. So to me, it's going to be hard to resolve the problem.
Several schools and a business in Southington were locked down this afternoon while state police searched that area, but reopened a little while later.
Well, new tonight, police in East Haven are looking for the driver who hit a fire truck and then took off. Police say firefighters were on their way to a call just after 6:30 tonight when a car turned in front of that truck. The car hit the truck, but the driver didn't stop. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Investigators are also asking anyone who may have video of the incident to come forward.
A man who used to play for the Yukon Huskies now faces charges in the death of his mother. 28-year-old Eric Cobb is accused of shooting 51-year-old Erica Winford in Jacksonville, Florida. Police say she was found wrapped in a blanket in her own backyard. Cobb was arrested at that home. He was a standout on the Yukon men's basketball team between 2017 and 2019. He played 47 games with the Huskies, but he was briefly suspended. The team says that was over, quote, conduct deemed detrimental to the team. Cobb is in custody at Duval County Jail. We are working to learn more about his specific charges. The man facing charges in a deadly Labor Day boat crash was in court this morning. 26-year-old Clayton Hackling of Old Lyme had his case continued to April. Police say his blood alcohol level was double the legal limit when the boat he was operating hit the breakwater at the mouth of the Connecticut River. 3 people died. It took days to recover that boat. Hackling is facing manslaughter charges. He's been out on bond since his arrest last month.
Well, state lawmakers are pushing back against what they call a coordinated attack on Connecticut's utility regulators. At a press conference today in Hartford, lawmakers accused Eversource and United Illuminating of trying to weaken the state's public utilities regulatory authority, better known as PURA. They say the companies have lobbied lawmakers to block the reappointment of PURA chairwoman Marissa Gillette after she pushed back on rate hikes and held the companies responsible for service failures.
Ask yourself, who do you trust? The utilities, with their track record of failure after storms and attempts to spend gobs of money to intimidate lawmakers? Or do you trust the government entities charged with looking out for your interests?
Lawmakers want PURA to have even more regulatory authority. They hope it will protect customers from rate hikes. A spokesperson for Eversource says PURA, though, is the problem. They blame higher costs on regulators. In a statement to Fox 61, one Eversource spokesperson writes, "We have no opinion on the makeup of PURA or who's appointed to serve. We simply want and expect the law to be upheld," end quote. A Connecticut boarding school faces a class action lawsuit tonight accusing it of failing to protect students from cyber stalking and exploitation. Former students at Kent School say its longtime IT administrator, Daniel Clary, had unlimited access to student devices for years. They claim he stole private photos and videos without their knowledge and has since been charged with computer crimes. Well, the lawsuit claims Kent School knew about security failures but did nothing about it, putting students at risk. Attorneys say hundreds of students could have been affected. Governor Ned Lamont wants to expand access to pre-K and preschools across the state.
Yeah, the governor held a news conference today urging the Connecticut General Assembly to approve what could become an historic legislative measure. Fox
61's Bridget Buerlo joins us in studio with more on this. So, Bridget, who would pay for this?
Great question, Sarah. Angelo, this would be the largest expansion of pre-K and preschool access in Connecticut history, so it would be a big deal. The governor hopes to tap into our state budget surplus to make this happen so that families earning up to $100,000 a year don't have to pay a penny.
Ola Sazenzi traded Poland for Connecticut in 2021. She moved here with her husband and young daughter.
Since then, we've been trying to make life here for ourselves. And my husband was working full-time, and I had the college degree to finish.
But to do that, the couple needed to find childcare, which wasn't easy. Lucky for them, an opportunity opened.
We're very fortunate to find a program that we've loved, and my daughter has been there. This is her 4th year there. I was able to finish my college degree.
Now she works for Parents Connecting Parents, helping other families find childcare options. And if House Bill 6867 passes the Connecticut General Assembly, those options will be plentiful.
What we are doing is building an endowment that's there for the kids.
Governor Ned Lamont wants to expand access to pre-K and preschool across the state by investing millions of state surplus dollars into a new fund called the Universal Preschool Endowment.
There's no dispute about how important early childhood education is for these kids, infant and toddlers right through pre-K. First of all, I hear that from every teacher I talk to.
The goal being to provide more spaces for child care education at no cost to families making under $100,000 a year. A change that Ola says would not only put children on a path of success, but their parents too.
I believe that all of our families in Connecticut should have this opportunity to make better quality life for themselves, just like we were given the chance to do.
The plan would be to transfer $300 million in surplus funds for the 2025 fiscal year to this Universal Preschool Endowment. In studio, Bridget Bureau, Fox 61.
We are following some breaking news from Hamden tonight. Police are actively investigating after a person was hit by a car. This is happening along Dixwell Avenue, right around the area of Pine Street. That section of the road is shut down. A heads up if you're heading that way tonight. We have a crew there gathering details, and we'll get you a report from that scene as soon as possible.